Okay, test, test. Ah, okay, there we are. Whoa. Okay, I just want to have my head. Oh, lol. I just want to. Oh, no, I get it. I think maybe I pressed the button, but I put my headphones on just before the countdown ended, and it immediately cut out the speakers, like the music, as well as the microphone got turned off, like boom, because I think it automatically switches to my headphones, but I didn't expect it to happen. So okay, that's something that's good to know for the next time. I just want to have my headphones so that I can focus more on the stream while I'm in the living room, because as you can see, I haven't yet actually put my desk together. I'm not yet in the office. I'm still at the same spot. You know how it goes. Like, yeah, when you arrive at your new spot, you have been driving for a very long time, and you come here, you put your stuff everywhere, and you unpack and ta. But then the bigger stuff, it will take a few days before you actually have the energy to go at it again. You know what I mean? Yeah, so we're still in the living room. And my desk, it will come. So oh boy, okay, here we are. Sound working, very, very nice, cool. What's up, everyone? Wow, so many people here. Boris, Ben, Tom, Mateus, welcome. Mr. Brown Bug, how you doing? Mr. E-commerce. Crash stream. Yeah, we've hit the 886, so probability is high to take out this low at some point. Sibel, welcome. This time here since the start. Good to have you here. I'm in the garden collecting rocks from the ground and listening. Peace and love. Enjoy hanging around in the garden, Mr. Brownbug. Party music, hell yeah. Mateus, Sam, welcome. Good question in the thumbnail. I know, right? I know. That's what we're going to be talking about. No? That's what we're going to be talking about. MLT90, Perkyo, Jen, what's up? The new thumbnails look great. Thanks to also Jeroen. I asked Jeroen if he can put the thumbnails in Canva so that I can simply change the text, right, if I want to. Will 30k old. Like the backgrounds, they'll switch in time. We also got a altcoin stream thumbnail here, and he just wrote something random. So of course altcoin streams are many altcoins, not just one. But there's 3 in here, and I can change and edit the text. And it's always about current price action and keeping probabilities in mind. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun thinking about the text on the thumbnails as well. We'll write you in Discord. Yesterday was too late. Yeah, no problem. No worries. I did add your name, Mr. Brownbug, by the way, to the list of people I have in a Word document, like people that want to do something or are entrepreneurial or could partner with, or that sort of stuff. Let me check if the webcam is good, by the way. I want to have a little bit of... Okay, there we go. Good morning, visual. Yeah, no sound. I fixed it. And we go down. Okay. Is ABC correcting? Yeah, we're gonna go over the lower time frames. So we're gonna cover this. Thomas, welcome. Seems the set isn't fully set up yet. Nope, definitely not. Sung Hun Park, welcome, man. Good to have you here. Welcome from Korea. Hi from France, Nice, south of France. Max Steel. Wow, you had to think about that for a second. Good to have you here. Welcome, bonsoir. Too much running in the morning. We actually went for a hike. I'm not sure how many. Ash, how many kilometers did we do? 7, 8? We did I think 7 or 8 kilometers. 7.11. Okay, 7.1 K, and it took us about 2 hours with the stops and sightseeing and stuff. So we had a good hike today, and while I'm setting up the mic here, do this. So we went to, go to maps here. So we basically went from the promenade, or through the center, to Colline du Château here, this area. So this mountain area, and then back again, which was nice. It was a good time. So and the weather, it was already by that time 26, 27 degrees. So Frembo, welcome, first time here. Good to have you. Good to have you. We're going to start the analysis very soon. So no sound. There should be sound now, right? There is sound. Test, test, test. Yeah, there is. So for the ones that are new here, welcome to my not complete setup. I just moved to another country, being France, south of France, and I still need to set up my desk. So I only have one screen, my laptop. My second screen is in the room and in my office. And the desk stuff is in the office as well, but I still gotta put it together. Moonboy title, except yeah, I'm not really that type of guy, I suppose. Really, bonsoir à tous. Let's all enjoy our salade niçoise. This guy, David, welcome. Zarafa, thank you. Yeah, it was enjoyable. We had a good road trip to the south. That low was taken on most charts. Yeah, not yet on Coinbase, the chart I follow, but we hit the 886, and the fact we did hit the 886 increases the probabilities to take this low at some stage. So local probabilities are higher to still take out this low. Any move towards the upside is a higher probability wave, C or Y, because the 886 is rare for 2 and common for a wave X or B, right? But in general, probability is high to take out the low sooner or later. What's also very nice is after the 886 touch, we move to the golden pocket, as a price often does, which is always interesting. Always interesting. Harut, it's nice to be back. Nice to be back after a little break driving to the south. Rodney, welcome. Largo Caballero, selling Niza. Selling the kids around the corner, not going to have so much recovery time when they arrive. Yeah, use your time when they're not there. At least you have a chair. Yeah, I mean, at least there's a chair here in the apartment. So, that's something. Can you paint a baguette candle on the chart? In my previous life, maybe I don't know. I was an art painter. So looks like a potato. I know. Boomer boom, welcome. Yeah, it didn't really look like a baguette. It was too fat and too short. What do you in France? Yo, B channel, how you doing? I moved. I'm living in there. Alta gang in here. What's up, Alta gang? How you doing? What's going on? We're dropping lower? Yes. Arguably, the probabilities locally at 15-minute time frame, probabilities are higher to take out this low. We have some support, daily naked point of control, right? Try a croissant. Yo, guys, let's start the analysis, shall we? So on the 15-minute, let me check. What's the time? How long we live for? Whatever. I'll check that. Gonna 16 minutes. Okay, perfect. So let's get this started, shall we? So on the 15-minute time frame, we don't actually really have to analyze this bit in a lot of detail because we hit the 886 over here, just above support, daily naked point of control. And because price hit the 886, the probabilities are high for price to take out this low at some point. Any move towards the upside has a higher probability of being a C or Y, which in turn increases probabilities to move down and take the low. However, it is common for price to, after an 886 touch, hit the golden pocket and continue to the downside to take out the low. And currently we are ranging still on top of that 886. Daily naked point of control is your closest support at 60.1K. Your closest area of resistance is 63.1K. Another daily naked point of control, right? So That is that about what's happening very, very locally. So let's zoom out, start on the daily, right? Always important to zoom out, go to a daily time frame, makes life a lot easier, and then zoom in to the 4 hour. And I will move these scenarios in. Let me quickly check. What's this? Okay, yeah, that's not relevant anymore. Cool. No, neither is this one. Okay. So, main count and alternate count. That's a great question. I'll make sure to answer that after the analysis, right? The analysis won't take too long, though. So, your bullish scenario is a finished 3-wave corrective structure, and we look for an impulse up, 1-2 continuation to the upside, right? In a wave 3. Now, most commonly, a wave 3 is the most impulsive wave out of wave 1, 3, and 5. So high amount of volume, sharp structure to the upside, big candles. Your most common target area for your wave 2 is the 05786. That is where we are now. Now, it's quite a big area, 61.8K to 57K. So that's why it's interesting to look for additional areas of support. And as just mentioned, we have a daily naked point of control at 60.1K. We have a support resistance area between 60.3 and 59.2K, which has played an important role in this range so far. And just below, we then have this blue box between 57.8 and 57.3K, which I think is very interesting because first of all, it was the previous range down here. And one of the levels in this box is a weekly naked point of control, which always is an area of interest, right? So 57.8K is very interesting indeed, and one of the confluences inside that target box. Now, what you don't want to see is price moving down to the 886, 55.3K, as that lowers the probabilities for price to be a wave 2. Right, and you're going to be looking for prices sooner or later take out the low as a higher probability. But at the moment, the probabilities are higher for price to correct to the downside in a wave 2 or B coming up next and still take out this high over here. Now that then leads me to the second scenario, which even though it looks very different, is actually on the short term very much the same. Because what we are looking for here is similar price action in a 5-wave A, a 3-wave B, and a 5-wave C, right? Taking out this high. And that is exactly the same as what we do in the impulsive scenario, where we then look for 1, 2, and of course a bigger wave 3 to the upside, so continuation. In the more bearish scenario, we don't look for that continuation up. We are going to be keeping an eye on a rejection, preferably in this area on the chart, right? This is your most important area of resistance to the upside above the all-time high. This is the most common target area for a wave B in an expanding flat. The 1.236 to the 1.38 fib taken from the start to the end of A, 78.6K, 81.5K. After a wave B, which then internally has a 3-wave structure, 535 ABC, right? A zigzag, most common as well in a wave B. We look for an impulse down in a wave C. And that is very interesting, as a wave C generally is short in time, very quick, very fast, very emotional, high amount of volume, right? Scary, people getting fearful, people selling, people talking about all-time high is in, we're starting a bear market, you know, that sort of stuff, right? You know what I'm talking about. Now, the target area for your wave C is taking out the low of A, and after wave C, we want to see a move back towards the upside. Now here, the most important target for your C is this previous range, because that is the wave 4 of a lower degree on the weekly time frame. Right, and I don't really want to cover the weekly in this stream, as I've already done it earlier today in the video. But on the weekly, if you look for a simple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure, then inside your wave 3, you count internally, right, another 5 waver, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where this is your 4 of a lower degree, because this is your 4 of your bigger wave 3. And this is your bigger wave 4, right? And it is common for a wave 4 of a higher degree, being this range, to retrace to the wave 4 of a lower degree, which is this smaller range, in the more bearish weekly scenario. So in this scenario here, what we are looking for is price to move down inside this range, right? However, that is more long term. Short term, these two scenarios are exactly the same, right? There's no different. 1, 2, 3, right? A, B, C. Ta-da. Huh? The only scenario that is different is the most bearish scenario, which doesn't have the highest probabilities, and I will explain why. So in this particular case, we have a flat structure. So here we then have our W, X, and we look for a Y, right? That's the bigger zoomed out scenario, a bigger 3-wave structure. However, here inside X, we then have a running flat. So we have our 3-wave A, B, and then a C. However, your C did not move above wave A, meaning it is a running flat. And a running flat is very rare, never preferred, never gets the highest probabilities unless all of the other structures fail, which means the invalidation is hit of the other two scenarios. And the invalidation for both of these scenarios where price does this is the low. No? Very, very easy, right? So a running flat, low probabilities, wave C being an impulse, not taking the high of A would of course fake out many people, including most of the analysts, because in the end the running flat is rare, right? We do cover it because it is still a scenario. It's just that probability wise, this is not the highest probability, right? Running flat, very rare compared to a zigzag in a B or an impulse up and continuation of the bull market. No? I've also seen some people do this, by the way. 1 second, where they count A, B, C, right? Now there's two things that lower the probabilities for this, for the people that like to count it like this. Number one, your wave B hit the 1.618 Fibonacci taken from the low to the high of your wave A, which is a very rare target for wave B. The moment you hit the 1.618, probabilities are higher. You're looking at another structure and not the low of a wave B, right? Second, your wave C to the upside is longer than twice the length of A plus B in time, which significantly reduces probabilities. This is a wave C. So that is why I do not consider that particular flat, right? And I look for the bigger one over here, right? Okay. Cool. So going to the 4-hour time frame. This is where things become interesting, no? Because of the move to the downside. It would be nice to eventually end this move on a high amount of volume to scare people as well. So we have a little bit of volume coming in. This was on Friday. I think that was, wasn't that news related as well? Not too sure because I was still driving on that day. But price moving down, a little bit of a volume increase here, but that's perfectly fine. So let's cover two scenarios here. Number one, finished A or 1 at the lower high. This high over here is your B, and then a flat A, B, and a C. The moment you make your low, 2 or B is in, and you look for continuation to the upside. In this case, we have a finished wave 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the 1-hour time frame, a very short zigzag in 2. And now look for another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, finish 3, preferably on top of that daily naked point of control at 60.1K. Start another 4, perfect weekend price action, right? In the weekend, most of the time, price goes sideways. So that would actually be pretty nice. If you do move down a little bit, take the low, move up again for your 4. And then next week, markets take the low, hit the weekly naked point of control would be very nice. I'm not sure if we're going to get it, but that would be quite nice, 57.8, and then get a bigger bounce to the upside. Now, in this particular case, we then look for a finished A, B, C flat structure, low into B, continuation up in C or 3. Time-wise, take a fib time from the start of A to the end of your wave B, and we don't want this low to be made after the 2, right? And the 2 is sitting on the 13th of August. In other words, and that is 2 p.m. by the way, Central European time. So in other words, if we do make a low, be it Monday, right? Maximum Tuesday morning, but preferably Monday would be nice. So yeah, probability is higher to still take out the low. And in the more bearish scenario, I here have a similar count because you still look for an impulse down, but now it's part of a bigger zigzag. 1 second here. In a wave A, B, C, and then up, right? Where your wave 1 is now at the top. And we count again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Impulse is structured down, have an A, 3 wave B, 5 wave C, and then continue towards the upside. No, you just go sideways a little bit longer and then move up after, where again, the weekly naked point of control is a very interesting target indeed, 57.8K. So definitely something I'm keeping my eye on. And for a potential B, the monthly naked point of control at 66.4 is a very important resistance and is also in confluence with a daily naked point of control, 66.3, right? So it's a nice little bit of stacked confluence in that particular area. So yeah, this is something that I keep an eye on. And this is currently the two scenarios that are the main, the main ones I keep an eye on. They're actually also here quite similar because you still look for price to take out this low at some point here, right? Take out this low at some point. We look for that retracement to the upside, and this retracement up, it's about the retracement. If it's a 5-wave impulsive structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we look for the highs. If it is going to be a messy corrective structure, right, 3-wave fee, we're going to be looking for price to take the low one more time here. So that's the difference between the two, but the difference only happens once you actually get a retracement towards the upside. Now, currently, it is weekend, and commonly during the weekend, price moves sideways, right? It's very rare for price to actually break out and not come back, right? So we have seen that over and over and over again. Now, what was the previous weekend here? So this was your Saturday price action, right? So price moves up and boom, it goes back down again, right? Doesn't go anywhere. We literally started the weekend and ended the weekend at the exact same level. So that's a great example. Now that is something that happens a lot, that even though you might get some volatility, price tends to move in a range sideways. And that is something that we're looking for here as well, because it's the highest probability, right? We finally took the low on the 15-minute. So the probabilities on the 15-minute have now played out. That's always nice. Always nice to say. Daily naked point of control, 60.1K. So that's an area of interest. See if we get any sort of a reaction here. And we are now also in that support area, the daily support area here, right? Yeah. Now we just wait patiently for a reaction. We also had a lot of bearish CVDs actually all the time as price has been moving to the downside. Let me refresh my chart here. Zoom out. There we go. So zooming out. Bearish CVDs here, right? And you can see the bigger bull here was invalidated. Price moving down, some more bearish CVDs. No? And they have consistently been forming, and also on the 3-minute time frame. And it's interesting that I might have to change my settings. But over here you can see lower high on price, but we do have a higher high on blue as well as on yellow. So there is a bearish CVD here. Okay, I'm gonna let the developer know about this one here. 1 second. because even though the templates show you CVD, it's always good to know yourself what it is, because on the chart what we can see, a 3-minute time frame is, oh, that's a fatty. No, I don't want that. Is lower highs on price but higher high on the CVD, right? Bearish CVD divergences that have played out. No, and even here, right? Lower high on price, higher high on blue, right? Bearish CVD also on yellow, right? Played out. Price moved towards the downside. So this is something that I will. We're still improving that. The lines on the chart here. Maybe the old template so far was a bit more accurate than the new one, but it's improving, and then eventually it will be shared. So yeah. So with regards to the probabilities, of course, on a weekly time frame, the probabilities were shared in the previous video, right? The normal video, 10 minutes or something it was, where the probabilities are higher to continue the trend still towards the upside and make a new all-time high at some point. And on the daily time frame, probability is also higher for these scenarios where we take out this high before taking this low, right? Maybe you won't see this low, right? Depends if this is A, B, C down or 1, 2, 3 and continuation. But by all means, probability is higher to take out the high here with one of these, right? One second. One of these. Let me go daily. So 1, 2, continuation, or A, B, C, and then you move down, compared to a running flat, because a running flat is never the highest probability scenario, right? And then on the 15-minute, the probabilities have played out because we now took the low, so that's cool. And yeah, generally weekend sideways ranging structures, not too exciting, but still looking for a bit of an impulsive structure to the downside. Earlier today, this morning, I did share stuff in silver in the morning here. No, that was not the morning. This was the morning, 9:28, 9:12, so around 9 a.m. this morning. I already shared a couple of these scenarios, right? So I was talking about the different things locally. Here is, for example, the scenario we just covered. And a scenario that Flotty showed in Discord in the Gold Elliott Waves channel was a WXY. But what lowest probabilities for this compared to at the moment just an impulse for now, with the low being in here, is that in your second A, B, C and Y, your wave C is very long, very extended, past the 1.618, right? That is uncommon for C. Plus your wave Y, right, 0.618. For a double zigzag, your common target is the 1 to the 1.236, really. And we also just stopped above the golden pocket, and generally you tend to hit the golden pocket, and also just made a low before the daily naked point of control, and high probabilities you're going to hit it. So it was not really, probabilities weren't really on the side of a finished WXY here. So that is why I was still looking for another low as well, and something that I at least considered was a longer ABC here, right, where you have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure finished, and you then look for a bigger sideways range, and then you get your leg down. But that is just that was just an idea that I shared in here. So and then here was the 886 golden pocket, right? So probability is higher to take out the low, but that has now happened. So check. Very, very nice. So boom, there we go. But a double zigzag is something that I like to keep an eye on. It is not something that is, so a finished WXY is invalidated and already had lower probabilities. But a WXY is still something I keep an eye on, because we can count this as a potential W here, right? Your X, however, is incredibly short, So yeah, and counting this as an A, B, C, you have a very deep wave B hitting the 1.618. So that's not great. But at least you then have whatever, W, X, and then a wave Y. But preferably your wave Y is then A, B, C. So then you retrace a little higher, right? Not take this high here. And then you create your A, you create a bigger B, and then you still move down for C. So it still leads to another low, right? So it doesn't really change the probabilities. And yeah, you know, we just remain patient here. So yeah, that's that really. That's that. It has been a very nice move to the downside, has to be said. The live stream or the video I made before I left to the south of France was literally at the high, where we were looking probabilities, as mentioned, were highest to look for a retracement down in the upcoming weeks. And this week, definitely a solid retracement down. So very happy. And we also hit that resistance here, right? Very nicely respected. Just a bit of wicks above, but all the closes inside, and poof, down we go. So now we have a daily naked point of control and 57.8. It's very, very interesting. So the question, right, will 60K hold? The probabilities are at the moment not on the side for 60K to be your final area of support and an impulsive move up from there. Right, probabilities are higher to bounce those 60K, range above, then move below, and then up, right? Or get the bigger A, B, and then C, still move down to 57.8, right? 57.8 really is a much more interesting area than 60K, to be honest. We do have an area of support here, but at the moment, with the current scenarios and current price action, the probabilities aren't high to we don't go to 59, right? Probabilities are higher to still see prices go below 60, but because it is weekend and weekend tends to be sideways price action, I won't be surprised if at least during the weekend we stay above 60. Right, hit the daily naked point of control, look for support, continue the range on Sunday, maybe move up to the daily naked point of control here and still look for a move towards the downside. And if we do get a zigzag, right, A, B, monthly naked point of control, C, and still move down. So, yeah. The support at 52K. Oh, by the way, this was, of course, when did we start? Analysis at, I think it was, 30 minutes or something? Something like this. Yo, Pistachio. Yo, howdy. Welcome, man. Good to have you here. And thanks, man. Hope you're doing well. So far, yeah. So south of France. First of all, I know the area pretty well. Because of all my holidays back with my parents back in the day. My mom is French and she always wanted to go to the south of France. But yeah, it's been great. This was our first well, actually it was our second full day, but it felt like a first one because we didn't really we did a little bit of unpacking, but we went for a hike, we swam in the ocean. We worked a little bit in the apartment, of course, did some work and stuff as well, both of us, because my wife has her own business as well, and yeah, it's been very good. Good to have you here. Elliott with another show. We support at 52K. So 52K, right? Let me toggle on all the levels on 1, 2, 3. Now 52K is quite interesting. Because actually, 52K is not very interesting, but 51.8K is very interesting, right? So you have a point of control, the red line of a previous range, monthly naked point of control, and a weekly. So that is some confidence to the downside, no? And then you can see there's, of course, more levels to the downside, step by step by step. But that is interesting. And we have the weekly order block and a weekly order block between 53k and 50.5, right? And then at 49.5, we still have the value area high of the weekly range of 2021. But preferably that is only going to play a role once price then creates a flat, right? A, move for B, then then you get your C down, right? And then you move. No? So yeah. Pop. Let's see where we were, by the way. A savoir vivre belly. I don't even know what it is yet. Supple, welcome. Wave 1 green didn't hit the 886 at the Coinbase chart. Wave 1. But the 886 here is not relevant. Taken from this high to the low, it's not a relevant pool. Right? I wouldn't even know if it did. But that is not an 886 that I personally check. I think the high on my chart is this one here, and really down. I'm actually not even sure. Yeah, we did. So we did hit it, but it's not relevant. The only way you can make it relevant, let's say, is this scenario here, where if you are looking for a double 1 2, but this was never the highest probability in all of the past months, really. So 1 2 1 2 down, right? Your first wave 2 already hit the 886, very rare for wave 2, and then now your second one as well. You know, yeah, it's not relevant, but it's not really an 886 I look at. The 886 down here on the daily is a lot more interesting. And as price moves down, you want to pull the 886s preferably from the low to the high every time you make a new low and see if it gets hit. Because if it gets hit, the probabilities are higher to keep trickling to the downside. Yeah, we love things playing out, right? We love probabilities playing out. So let me put the point of control back on here. So we wicked the low, very, very nice. Preferably a continuation of the range, of course. Can you do log on the fib retracement for wave B? Take a fib from the high. It depends, of course. You first need to wait for your low of 80 to be in, right? But let's imagine that the golden pocket is a little lower. Okay, 59.6, right? Let's put it there. And then and then do wave B for a zigzag, right? Let me make this smaller. This one is blue. And then this is fib level based on log skill, checked, right? But I'm not on the log chart. And now you can see the difference. So the 886 is 68.817, and on a log it's 68.731, which is absolutely minimal, irrelevant difference. And that is because this move it's only like 13%, 15%. Its logarithmic scale is not relevant on such small moves. You really need to go and analyze moves that have a couple of 100% change, and then use log with the log fibs where they really have an effect. The reason I always have my log fib or my fib levels based on log skill checked, even though I'm not on a log chart, is because I don't have to then on the weekly time frame change to a log chart, and every time I pull a fib check this box. So it's more like it's just faster to have it always checked, because only if I change to log will it, yeah, I mean, it's not even $100 change, which at 68.8k is completely irrelevant, of course. So yeah, I just use the linear chart with the log fibs, and if I switch to log on a weekly time frame, you know, that's where the fibs are already set on log, so it saves me time. To you know, I don't have to change everything. So yeah. Took a bit hit on Friday. Yeah, I heard KG. I'm not sure if KG is here, but KG mentioned that in the Gold Elliott Waves group, that Bitcoin is holding quite well compared to some of the traditional markets. A couple of days ago, yeah. 50K. Thomas, welcome. Good to see you here. Do you see the WXY are possible with the wave 1? I'm not sure. W1, is that wave 1? It's best to avoid the shortcut. I'm not sure if you talk about wave 1, but is it, do you then mean this, like W, no wait, W and then look for X and then a Y? This one now has lower probabilities just because your wave A for then a B and a C inside X, your wave A went so high, it lowers probabilities. A friend of me is calling, but I'll answer him soon after the stream. Legionario, welcome. Good to have you here. 15 push-ups. 58.4K. It's an interesting area. Queenie, welcome, man. Good to have you here. It's been a while. Welcome. How are you doing? For the 335 expand flat, is it less likely if the C wave goes past? The most common target is two 1.618s. And a 2.618 is a less common target, but it's still one to have on the chart. So if you have a 3-wave A, a 3-wave B, and then you look for a 5-wave C, right? Your common target for C is a trend-based fib from the low of A, also vice versa, to the high of A, to the low of your B. And then the 1.618 is common, the 2.618 is less common. And then to create an area, you take a normal fib from the end of A to the end of B, toggle on the 1.618. And this is your most common target area for a wave C. Of course, it can extend to a 2.618, right? But it's probabilities. So yeah, it can extend past, one of these, but preferably it still hits that area and rejects. The 2.618, of course, is still a target to keep in mind. Could this just be a sharp ABC? Yeah, I mean, then you have finished A, finished B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in C, right? And then you move up. Yeah. But the thing that I am dealing with is if this is your A, your B it's just a very short wave B. Yes, it's a zigzag, that's fine, but it's very, very short in time. A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, look for 5, price, found support. For the probabilities to increase for this to be an ABC, first of all, price needs to move down lower. Trend-based fib from this to... That's for the... Just let's take the higher low here. See what we get. Yeah, preferably price at least moves to 59.8K. If not 57.8, right? That's the weekly naked point of control. So in other words, we want lower prices because you want to hit the common target area for your C. Wave B is very short. So what I would need to see is price really moving up and have consistent strength, bullish CVDs, volume coming in, right? Like, to change to this being an ABC. It's not yet something I'm looking for. If we hit the common target area, I might start covering it, but not at the moment. How do you decide the main and the alternative count? So in your Elliott wave journey, which starts with learning the theory, there's a couple of phases, right? At the beginning, you're absolutely completely clueless. And I was here, right? So you have no idea. It's a lot of information. You don't know where to start. You don't know how to count. Your charts look like shit, right? The chart is full of lines and scenarios and this and that, and you have absolutely no idea what you're doing, but you're trying. That's step one, no? And then eventually you start to organize, you know, maybe add some folders, you improve your theory, charts become a bit cleaner, and you get a bit of a feel for counting, right? Counting goes quicker. You know the theory in your head more or better and better and better, so the counting goes quicker. And then eventually you get to a stage where counting is natural, you know the rules and guidelines, it goes very quick. But there's still people that do not have a feeling for probabilities, even though they know all the rules. 1 second. Where was I? Oh yeah, so you have, of course, you have people that have counting experience, but they still struggle to give probabilities, to give probabilities to their counts. Now, probabilities are given by the analyst based on the rules and guidelines, retracements, volume, targets of the two counts. So you have a count number 1 and a count number 2, and you check the rules and guidelines, right? You check the retracements, you check the targets, you check the extensions, you check the volume, you check the time. And based on all of this, you should know as an analyst which scenario has a higher probability compared to the other. So the probabilities, right, your main count or alternative count is based on you and your judgment of the analysis. So first of all, your analysis needs to be so strong, and you need to have such a high level of analysis that you actually have the correct analysis. But analyzing the chart correctly only happens when you know all the rules, all the guidelines, you check the volume, you check the time, you know, of the different waves, and put that all together and just build experience, right? And preferably organize your charts as well. And then the next step is to translate all of that information into a preferred main count and an alternative count, right? That is your final step. Yeah. What's up, Goa? How you doing, man? Top rank in the compete at Blowfin. Yeah, it's a cool competition though, with Blowfin. I gotta say also, I really enjoy Blowfin, and for the ones that noticed, I actually moved Blowfin up. It's now second in the list here. So we have Bing X and then Blowfin, and yeah, I'm more and more active, like keeping an eye on what's happening. And also Blowfin is very active with all of their like campaigns and stuff they want to do for the community, and like Charles Junkie in Discord is really awesome, really helping the community as well with coming up with very original ideas and campaigns and stuff. So yeah, this one here, that's what Go is talking about. Yeah, it's great. There's literally a 300k like bonus pool, right, for only the koenztrading team, which it's awesome. And then besides that, it's also still a bonus. So yeah, I mean, Blowfin's been great. They're very active each couple of weeks, like each 2 weeks, there's something new for the community. There's like, they're very active. They give people as much as they can, free bonuses, cashbacks here. This is literally, you deposit 1,000, you get 100. I mean, you can't make it more simple than that. They're very active. So I really enjoy working with Blowfin, because they really support the community. They understand what I look for. They understand. So for me, community is most important, and I want to try and give as much as I can. So of course, if people register, they're an affiliate, they support the channel. But I wanna the people that do trade, you want to help them get stuff, free money, bonuses, discounts, whatever it is. And I think Blowfin, and in particular Charles Junkie is my contact. He does an amazing job. So yeah, very, very happy with the relationship so far. A very positive experience with them. Absolutely. So many longs around the area. Burnham. Jackman, how are you doing? Welcome. Not sure what you mean, Boomer Boom. Here. Sir, why 886? What is the significance? The 886 in Elliott waves, right? So the 886 is relevant once you know the theory. So it's actually just knowledge. When you learn the theory and the different structures in Elliott waves, right? Then you will realize what the common targets, the rare targets, and invalidations are for each scenario. And something that you will, I mean, if you it's interesting. I have not seen any other analyst before myself talking about the relevancy of the 886, which is very interesting, because if you dig deep into Elliott waves, you will actually quite quickly realize that the 886 is a very important fib level, because for an impulse up, the 886 is just very rare for wave 2, which is known, right? If you learn the theory, it's something that you'll see in the books, you'll see it on the websites, it's something you learn. But for a wave B or a wave X, the 886 is completely fine. And just by saying this, you should then be like, oh, but wait, if we then hit the 886 and you do move up, well, naturally, the probabilities are higher. This is a C or Y, and we're still going to move down. So it gives you a directional bias. So the moment you hit an 886, taken, by the way, from a fresh low or a fresh high, right? The moment you hit the 886, the probability or your directional bias should be take the low. And that can help someone with potential positions, right? For looking for potential shorts. Now, the 886, of course, is quite low. So, it's generally not really recommended to short on top of an 886 to take the low. But if price moves to the golden pocket, potential opportunity. If you move up for C or Y, opportunity, because the probabilities are higher to take out the low. So you can use this in trading, right? Is now a good entry to sell? It's a little bit late, because now you already took the low and probabilities played out, and we are about to hit the daily naked point of control, which is support. But no financial advice. If you have a plan, you want to short, and of course make sure to short. Do you do TA on total market cap, not just Bitcoin? Yeah, every Sunday we have an altcoin stream. So tomorrow, just double checking. Yeah, it's been a couple of days. Tomorrow we will have an altcoin stream, and total market cap is one of the stuff that we can analyze. Absolutely. Yeah. Also, by the way, in the weekend. So during the week, I'll always try to upload 3 times a day, as you're used to, right? Most of the time that works perfectly fine. In the weekends, now that I'm in France, I will update my banner or have Jeroen update my banner on YouTube to write weekend below here. So weekend _random. And probably in the weekend, I'll always have like a morning update and a night update. But during the day, because I'm here now and we just moved, we have to set up some stuff. But I also like to experience the area here and go for hikes, check out the area, make friends, do things. And so in the weekend, the content is going to be a bit more random. So the update of this morning was actually just afternoon, and the live stream is now late instead of afternoon. But that is also because I just moved to another country, and we of course want to do stuff. And in the weekends, I can allow myself to then go and do something during the day, but still provide you with an update in the morning, and then potentially late at night. But at least one a day is the goal in the weekend. And then during the week, it's just 3 updates a day. That's what we always do. But of course, doing 3 updates a day doesn't give you too much time to really go far away or experience the area. I'll answer that one. How to learn Elliott wave analysis? I like that question. Check. So first of all, check the description. Scroll down and go to Elliott wave education. There is 4 links there, right? So you scroll down, you can say hi. I'm watching myself now. So you scroll down, and then over here, Elliott wave education. I recommend to check out this website. It's a public website, free. I'm not affiliated for, at all, but this website is really good. So you click and start with the free stuff. I mean, why not? So start with this website. What you'll find on this website is 90 to 95% is correct, but they also have targets per scenario. They explain it very nicely, rules, guidelines, right? It's a very, very good website. So that would be step number 1. Step number 2 is watch the playlist that I have on YouTube, also free, right? So you go to this playlist, it's public, it's on my channel, right? It's been viewed by over 10,000 people in almost 2 months now, which wow, that's insane. So go through this, start with video number 1 and go through this. I actually think I can make it even more beginner friendly, but that's for an update, because I was kind of like, well, probably in the beginning people don't even know like what is an impulse and why is it 5 waves up and 3 waves down, and so I was like, I might need to make a video before, but that will come. So check all of this out, right? Every video you will see everything you need to know about that structure, the retracement targets, the extension targets, talk about volume, talk about tips, talk about etc., right? So lots of stuff going on there. So number 1, number 2, or actually both shared on number 1 position, right? Then you have the book Elliott Wave Principle. It's not a must-have, it's more like a nice to have. And then in the gold membership, which we have on the channel, that is where I am personally most active in Discord as well, here in the gold section. Always like to chat in here, and there's great analysts. Now gold is all about feedback, where I help to shorten the learning time, the time to learn Elliott waves. We have some private live streams regularly. I'm very active here, answering questions, sharing analysis, good stuff. So and there's also great Elliott wave counters in the group. KG, Flotty, Samith, Bettina is in here as well. So really, really cool. So gold is all about shortening the time to learn Elliott waves, and that's also where I am most active. At 60.1k, well, we have hit it now. So that's nice. That's nice. So there we go. Very nice. Respect. Wick, little reaction. Oh, very, very nice. And then learning Elliott waves, start with the theory, read through everything once, and then attack it scenario per scenario. So focus on impulses and then try to count some impulses, and then go to like a zigzag, and then go to a flat, and try to implement it on the chart. That's of course step 2. Step 1 is theory, step 2 is implementation, and then step 3 is probably organizing your chart, because at the beginning it's likely going to be very messy. And then step 4 is going to be probabilities, and then step 5 is trading it. If this is already an A, B, C and we're working on C, it is very short, Boris. That's correct. Which is another reason it's not preferred, I suppose. I understand you, and I agree. Mari, thanks for the good analysis. Nice to see someone knows where we are going in this market. Cheers, Mari. Of course, no one knows, right? It's all probabilities, but that's the only thing we can do. There's no certainties. but we are doing very well, always doing very well with regards to probabilities. Probably if we didn't, the channel wouldn't have been at 12.8k in about a year and a few months. So it's impressive. Thanks everyone. But yeah, probabilities are very clear, and yeah, make sure to have a plan. Have a plan, trade the plan. Yo, Adam, I gotta say, Adam, like, really props to you, and thanks for everything you do in the group. It doesn't go unnoticed, believe me. So I know what's happening. I've seen you answering questions from people in the group as well, and helping them out, and I really respect that. Yeah, I'll be chatting to you. How long did it take you to get to this level of Elliott waves? Generally, the question people ask is, how long does it take me to be good in Elliott waves? And my answer is always 2 years. And that is when you are doing Elliott waves every day. Now, that doesn't mean you have to practice Elliott waves 8 times a day, but you have to be consistent. It's likely going to take you at least 2 years. In my case, it was 2 years. Now, I did take some time off in my first year because I was so pissed off because I didn't really get it. So I had a 2-month break because I sucked. And then I came back to it. But I'd say 2 years. I think so. For me, after 1.5 years, I got confident, and it started to be really good. And then after 2 years is where I really started to excel in what I do, and that's when I really, that's when I really think it got me to where I am still. So yeah, at least 2 years. 28 years later, it's easy. Wow, 28 years. That's insane, yeah. Trial and error, absolutely. Your first world travel tour. How you doing, man? Welcome again. Welcome again. Dive instructor. Amina, good to have you. Can you show CVD? Well, the bearish CVD we had here on the 3-minute time frame has now played out. And currently, there's no interesting CVD because you need to wait for a range or at least a bit of a bounce. So there's nothing really happening. Of course, if you do zoom out to a 1 hour, maybe I even have to go to the 4 hour, you do have this bullish CVD, right? Higher low in price, lower low on both yellow and blue. But the CVD locally, always with CVD, is more interesting. So you want to keep an eye on the 15 and the 3-minute time frame. Those are the two that I use the most. And that is much more interesting than the bigger CVD, but at least it's good to know about it. But now the bearish CVDs here locally played out, took the low. You got to wait now. So Mark, how you doing, man? What's the I kind of answered that, I suppose, but in gold I give feedback on people's charts. I also analyze their charts. So if they send a chart, I'll give feedback. Generally, I also tend to then analyze the chart myself. We have private live streams where people can ask anything, and it's called feedback and Q&A live streams, right? So feedback Q&A, and then I do a live stream and go through all of the questions live on stream, private for everyone. And we have the Elliott Waves group, which is really, really active with great counts, great analysts, and that's where I'm most active as well. So the benefit is to shorten the learning curve of people learning Elliott Waves by helping them with questions, counts. If they ask me like, hey, I did a count on XRP, can you have a look? And can you share your idea? And I'll have a look and I'll share my idea as well, right? So also with the altcoin streams, for example, on public YouTube, it's all about voting. Well, if I do a private stream in gold, if people are in the stream and they have a count or a chart they're interested in and they mention it, I'll always have a look, right? So yeah, that's just the benefits. So Samer Liddy, welcome. Good to have you here. Yoshi, What's up? Welcome. Just stopping by real quick. Just here to say thank you for your free education on YouTube and Discord. Getting into Elliott wave theory now. Good night. I love to hear it. Getting into Elliott wave theory now. Let's go, man. If there's any questions, of course, put them in the chat here or public Discord. But yo, Yoshi, how you doing? Thanks for your message. And nice to hear that you found your way into Elliott waves, and go at it. Go at it. What is the golden pocket? Okay, so Fibonacci. How can we explain the golden pocket, guys? So, because this is actually a bigger question. In life in general, the golden ratio, also known as the 618, is something that you will see in many things, including on the chart, in flowers, in buildings, in the human body. If you have no idea what I talk about, just search online golden ratio. Now, the golden ratio is a number you get to when you do 1 plus 1 plus, what was it, plus 2. There's like this whole calculation, 1 plus 2, and then you, 1 plus 2, and then it is, oh no, wait, it's not plus. There was a whole calculation. I probably go too far, but it was like 1, and then you have 1, and then 1 plus 1 is 2, and then 1 plus 2 is 3, and then 2 plus 3 is 5, right? So then you go to 5, and then 3 plus 5 is 8, and then 5, and then you 13. Now these numbers, right, are part of the calculation that eventually leads to the 0.618, because if you divide these numbers, right, all the time, then eventually by dividing, you get to 0.618. But yeah, you can probably read a lot more about this. So the 618 is also known as the golden pocket because it's part of the golden ratio. Right? And make sure to check, just read about it. I'm not a hero necessarily in explaining everything in detail, but yeah, you'll be able to find lots of information about the golden ratio. But it is based on a calculation that I've just shown you, where you know you have 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3, and then eventually that leads to an outcome: 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, etc. Right? And then 55, and then you have 89, and and then eventually you divide each number, and then you get to the 618 as the golden ratio. So I mean, that's what's, yeah, that probably answers your question. But it's just an important support resistance area in general. It's extra confluence. So you pull a Fibonacci for support from the low to the high, right? I mean, in Elliott waves, you can be more specific, but let's just keep things simple. If you take it from the low to the high, then the golden pocket, in my case, 18 to the 6.6, the area is always an area of interest, always an area of support. And if it has confluence with some other stuff, yeah, it makes it interesting. Do you think that a bad Monday for the stock market will drag crypto down? I mean, there is a relationship, of course, generally between traditional markets and crypto. So, you know, if traditional markets go down, then it's common for crypto to do the same. But the matter in which it does is questionable, right? The stock markets sometimes, or traditional markets, can have a big dump, and Bitcoin has a mini dump. It can be the other way around as well. But I don't really look at traditional markets much. Okay, cheers, Mr. Brownbug. For NDEC, not for NDEC, but I do think I have SPX somewhere. Wasn't SPX at all-time highs, by the way? Okay, we're moving down now. Oh, we're not at all-time high. Oh, we are. Oh, wait, yeah, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, we are. So the thing is, because you are at all-time highs, it's you first need a bigger range to form on SPX before you can really analyze anything. So this is of course full 5 years, and look, we're still pretty much at the all-time high. We have a little retracement to the downside. Of course I use Google on TradingView just because it's quick, but yeah, a little bit of a three-wave structure to the downside here, right, on the line chart on Google. I mean, corrective, three-wave move up, and now moving down again. Looks corrective, but it's still early. I don't really in these live streams like to do personal charts like oh, can you check this or that, because once the door opens, I get a whole flood wave of like requests, so I try to avoid it. But I'm not sure, Mr. Brownbuck, are you gold or silver? Because if you're gold, then just write in gold, like we can talk about SPX in gold. KG also tends to analyze those type of charts in gold. We can check it there. Big Schnitzel. Thank you, Big Schnitzel. Dankeschön. I suppose you're German, but like patience, important also, of course, when having creating content and doing stuff in a community. Patience is important, and also in trading, I think patience is important. Psychology, but I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's I have no problem. Happy to share as much as I can. Almost 100 likes. Cheers, everyone. Yo, everyone popping in on a Saturday night. What you guys up to? Not watching the Olympics at least, or at the same time? Kun, I never see you use the FIB time zone tool. Yes, I only use the trend-based FIB time, not the zone. Yeah, I have to learn how to use TradingView. My chart is a big mess. Well, here's a simple tip, right? So how I organize I probably have to make a separate video about this, but you can see I have these sections, right? So the horizontal lines, right? Now what I do is I simply use a horizontal ray, right? Which you can see here at minus 17K. I put it on the chart somewhere randomly. I then right mouse click, rename, do this, and then just drag it somewhere. Voila, got my divider. Make sure to put this below 0 so it's out of your screen, right? And ta-da, right? So I made a divider here. That's one. Second, if you put analysis on the chart, right? So you do your analysis, and we do we do a bit of a count, and then we have a FIB speed fan, and I don't know, whatever you have in your analysis. If you have a couple of tools here, right? Press Shift. First of all, click on the upper one. Press Shift to the to below, right? Click on this folder, create group of drawings. Right mouse click, rename scenario X, whatever your scenario is, right? And now you can move it into your folders, right? And then here you can see now everything appears or disappears at the same time. And this is exactly how I do my stuff. Keeps it very clean, very, very organized, which is what I love. So I have like, okay, this is one scenario, done. That's in my folder. Another scenario is in my folder, right? On the daily time frame, your most bullish 1, 2. Let me remove the, right? This is one scenario, clean, right? ABC flat, very clean, very simple. Only the relevant information is on my chart. Everything you see in my scenarios is stuff I talk about, right? I don't want to show too much and have stuff on the chart that I do not cover. I want to make it as simple as I can for everyone to follow, which means I only show stuff on the chart that I talk about. And it's also I'm a global keynote speaker as well. And in the past 7 years that I am a keynote speaker, this is also stuff you pick up, of course, like you learn about what's too much, what's too little, and keeping things simple. So I only keep stuff on the chart that I talk about, and all the other stuff is stuff I remove from my chart to keep things simple. So you can see that every folder, it's also labeled daily bullish scenario, daily bearish scenario, daily very bearish scenario, right? 4 hour bullish scenario, 4 hour bearish scenario. And the 4 hour is the time frame. Weekly order block. This is still a high time frame. I should change this to weekly. But that's how I organize my stuff. And I can recommend it. Cheers, Adam. Are we going to break? Ooh, I'm falling behind, am I not? Yeah. Okay, let me be a lot quicker here. Just skimming. Verified trader, welcome. My kids are learning Elliott Wave. I know they will thank me at Koens one day. Yo, your kids are going to be great Elliott Wave traders, yo. Nice to hear. Nice to hear. They grow up with Elliott Waves. They don't have normal toys. They have Elliott Wave toys. 618 toys. Let's put this on the chart as well. Yo, recommended by Dutch, Mark Dutch, yo, always, what a guy. Welcome, verified trader, man. Good to have you here. Hey, yo, Tokyo, welcome. If the subdivided wave 1 and in the scenario of an extended wave 3, if the subdivided wave 1 and 3 are equal, what should the general target zone for the fifth wave be? The 1.618 taken from the start of 1 to the end of 3 to the end of 4. Okay, so what I mean, you have your wave 1, you have your wave 2, you have your subdegree wave 1, 2, subdegree 3, 4, and then you get your 5. And then you get another 4, 5. So yeah, this is what you mean, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have 5. And then inside you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now notice no overlap between wave 1 and 4. Wave 1 and 3 are equal in size. 3 is longer than 1, right? Wave 3 can never be the shortest. Target for your wave 5 is taken from the start of your 1, lower degree, right, to the high of your 3, to the low of your 4. Where is it? 5, 5, extended target. I was close. The 1.618, right? That's your target for 5. I almost did it by hand. I'm just a little bit off. But that's your target for your 5, and then you get another 4, another 5. Right? And then, like, nice interesting tip, your wave 4 of a higher degree, being the blue wave 4, tends to retrace to the wave 2, I believe it was wave 2 of wave 5, right? So inside wave 5 you have again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the wave 4 of a higher degree tends to retrace to the wave 2 of your extended 5. I think it's not wave 4 of extended 5. I thought it was wave 2 of 5. Yeah. So nice little tip there. So your wave 4 of a higher degree tends to retrace to the wave 2 of an extended 5 in 3. Information overload. Yeah, I mean, let's see what happens. Look, fundamentals, I don't really focus at all on any fundamentals. In the end, it's all just price action. It's all just buying and selling. I never really talk about politics and news and everything that's happening. I care about it, right? I keep an eye on it just because, you know, general common sense and information. But same here, COVID dump. everyone, oh, COVID, oh, blah, blah, and this is just a wave 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So impulse to the upside. So people be like, oh, big COVID dump. And I'm just like, well, we were looking for a wave 2. Wave 2 down, 3 up, voila. No problemo. So yeah, there's stuff happening, as there always is, and I just keep counting. In the end, it's all probabilities. 59.8. That is where we are now. SPF, you mean SFP, swing failure pattern? Maybe 4 hour not giving me hope that I need to see. Yeah, this is so we have the daily naked point of control here, still ranging around it inside this daily support resistance area, right? This range. So that's an area of interest, and the low is 59.2 here. Golden pocket is a retracement zone. Yes. 5 is neutral. How can I work on my risk management? That's a very good question, and I like it. Your risk management is a result of your plan. Now, what do I mean? There are 6 steps that you have to get through to make a plan, right? And to increase your probabilities of being a consistently profitable trader. And if you follow these 6 steps, your risk management will automatically improve. Now, before I start covering the 6 steps, 1 or 2 very important things. 1, always focus on how much you lose per trade. So when you calculate your position size, which is something you should do, so 2 is calculate your position size. Don't just randomly move the cursor left or right and be like, tada, I enter. Calculate your position size based on your plan. Use this tool, I suppose tip number 3. If you want to enter somewhere, right? Know where your stop loss is, know where your idea is wrong. You see a percentage here. Calculate the position size to enter here and lose 1%. Right? I suggest 1%. Yeah, you can risk 2% or 3% or 4 or 5, but not more than 5 is not recommended. Right? So start low at least. So use the position tool, know your stop loss, calculate your position size, right? And focus on how much you lose, not how much you win. Because that's where people be like, oh, if I increase my risk, like if I, instead of going in with 5K, I'm gonna go in with 50K. Yeah. Because shit, man, if I reach my target, instead of having a 15K, I'm gonna have 150K. Yeah. And then what happens? Price does this. And they nervous, eh? And a bloop. Oops. Account lost. Right? So focus on your loss. Right? Don't focus on your win. The wins come. Your account will grow bigger, and that 1% gain will get bigger. So the 6 steps. Step 1 is try as many free tools as you can in TradingView. Right? TradingView is an amazing platform. It's free. Like you can use so much free stuff here. Experiment and get better at using all of the different tools and check some indicators and build experience. Step 2 is find your favorite tools and build statistics. This is where most of the people give up because they're lazy, right? And they don't want to build statistics. They want to get rich quick. You're in the wrong market, right? So build statistics on your favorite tools. Get your Excel sheet out, build statistics. Step 3 is combine some of your favorite tools and build more statistics on the combination now, right? So now you have, okay, I like the VWAP and I like RSI and I like the golden pocket. If price hits the golden pocket with an RSI divergence and the VWAP is in that golden pocket, right? I see what does price and I'll track the statistics. Step 4 is tweak and adjust. So add a tool, remove a tool, build more statistics, improve your risk to reward ratio, your win rate, whatever you want to improve. Step 5 is start trading it with a low amount of money and work on your head, trading psychology, right? Check the book in the description, The Mental Game of Trading. Where is it? This one, right? This is by far the best book on trading psychology you can get. So much better than Trading in the Zone, which is why it's at the bottom, and The Mental Game of Trading is at the top. By far the best book I've read on mental strength in trading. And then step 6 is increase your portfolio slowly to get used to bigger losses. Getting used to bigger wins is easy, right? Get used to bigger losses. Now, if you do this, you'll have good risk management. You have a plan, you know where you're wrong, you know how to calculate your position size, you know exactly how much you're risking, you know, your psychology is in check. You know, there you go. You're good. Do you take no, I don't use SMAs or MAs myself. How do you get the daily naked point of controls? Different ways to get it. I get it through Atas. Atas is a free software for crypto, at least, not for traditional markets, but for crypto it's free. So you can just here and then download Atas, right? Atas crypto, and then download. And I have a template which is shared for free in Discord. Just go to the Good to Know channel, scroll up. Here's the Atas templates, right? And the steps to put them in. And there you go, daily endbox, right? And that's where I then get these lines. But you can also use a indicator that I sometimes show, just because not everyone wants to download Atas and go through the hustle. So market sessions volume profile by Leviathan, right? That's an indicator that also shows point of controls of the day, right? You can see there's a slight difference. Atas is more accurate, but you know it's a good alternative, right? Market sessions volume profile by Leviathan. Lastly, you can also use the volume profile, but that takes more work because you got to select, right, 1 day of time. So, yeah. Is there any way? Not yet, but we're going to be working on a website in the next quarter. And once there is a website, there will be this possibility, Toffa. But not at the moment, not yet. Just here for support. Yo, Mr. Brownback, cheers, man. Yeah, you know, just write me in just tag me in the others chart. If you have a account on SPX, just post it in others, tag me, and I'll just have a look. Good morning from Oregon. Shark Trends, welcome. Good morning. So I guess Shark Trends, you do use the SMAs, right? Now, they can definitely work, as anything can work, in confluence with Elliott waves, right? Everyone likes other tools, so make sure to continue to use the SMA, MA, and other stuff, right? So, of course, I have my set of tools, but there's people trading Elliott waves and they use RSI. I don't use RSI. Or they use order flow, or they use the DOM, or they use SMAs, or whatever. They use the speed fan and whatnot. Yeah? You can use anything. So, yeah. Sam, I like to organize the groups in TradingView in a way that the following groups go in lower detail time, but it's a pity you cannot structure groups in hierarchy. Yeah, I mean, you have to manually move everything. It's not like you can go and create a group and then in the group another group and in the group another group, you know. Yeah, no. Big Schnitzel. I will come back next stream, maybe. My last words for now. Bitcoin falls under 58.4. We see 52K again. Oh, yeah, that would be exciting times. No? Cheers, Big Schnitzel, man. Appreciate you being here. Cheers. It's great that how you present charts, especially when you go into lower time frames for the same scenario step by step. I try to make it as simple as possible because I realize look, the biggest strength is also generally your biggest weakness. My biggest strength is my Elliott wave knowledge and analytical, like analysis power, right? But at the same time, it's also a weakness if you have all that knowledge to communicate it in a very good way. So that is where my background as a speaker comes in, because as a speaker over the many years, I have learned to present difficult theory in a more understandable and easy way. So I try to apply that into my content, and hopefully it works and people learn a thing or two while watching the content and getting an update as well about the chart and probabilities. So yeah, no, it's a combination of different experiences, but I want to, like, Elliott waves is often regarded as very difficult. I think it's not. I think the main problem is that the moment people see the theory, they get like scared, like, oh shit, I don't have the time, you know, this is not for me, or whatever. So with the channel, first of all, I do the analysis for you in a way, right? If people don't want to learn it. Hey, we hit 59K, by the way. I do the analysis online, right? It's not a must that people learn it themselves, but I do recommend it. Second, I want to help people to understand Elliott waves a lot more and teach them, right? Because it is such a good tool. And I think that fear of like, I don't have the time, it's too much. I generally think it's related to just when they see the amount of content, they're like, oh shit, you know, but you want to take it step by step and just take time. It's just another tool in the toolbox. And I hope that when people watch my content, I always talk about, oh, I pulled the fib from this to there, right? I pulled the fib from this to there. I took a fib time from there to there to there. I took a base channel from here to there, right? I took a trend channel from here to here to here. And I hope that, and I talk about, and this is the common target area for price, and this is the rare target or uncommon target, and this is the invalidation. And, you know, I hope that by people watching my videos, they don't only get an update, but they passively learn more, because I always explain how I pull my fibs, what is common, what is rare. I talk about probabilities, and the goal is to not only give an update, but to, even if they want it or not, but to at least passively help them improve and understand Elliott waves more and more and more, because I always explain how I pull my stuff and what's common, what's rare. So yeah, even if people are not here to learn, they'll probably learn anyway because they watch the content and I always explain. So yeah, not just live streams, but also in my videos, 10 minutes, around 10-minute videos, I always explain all my pulls and targets, and you know. So yeah. Cheers, Mark. Thanks, man. Yeah, like it. You guys are waiting for New Year. You guys are like waiting for New Year. Well, it still takes a couple of months. SD, goedenavond. Welkom. Goed dat je erbij bent. Lift the 99%. I'm doing good. Hope you're well. Zindagi photo. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I'm not following the news at the moment. Lots of yeah, it's almost like we're a news channel now. DCA has begun. What's up, Anoop? The support and resistance lines on your chart are drawn manually. It's manually, yes. It's all everything I do is manual. Everything here. The only thing that's automated are the CVD lines here. This is automated, right? So of course there's coding behind it, which is done by Mr. Friends. But all of the divergences, all of the lines, that's all that's automated. Yeah. And it's different per time frame, and you can have some different settings. But yeah, this is the only thing that's automated, the CVDs. All the other stuff you always see on my chart is all manual. Yeah, exactly, Sibel. But yeah, it's more, you know, we're still hanging around 60K. So Talk Crypto, go to minute 14 and you'll see the analysis. Have you been, or ask me a question about crypto, have you been in Chart Champions? No. It's always the same story, and crypto gets a correction threatening, or yeah, I just generally don't really follow. I don't follow news. I mean, not for trading. Of course, I know what's happening in the world, but I don't follow it for trading. Boris, the problem with my statistics was that it worked till it don't. That it worked till I don't start play with real account. Only, yeah. So you have you make a plan, you build statistics, and then once you get to executing, that's where you get the fuck ups, you know. That it's, and then you leave the plan again because you think you're doing things wrong, and yeah. And that is exactly where you just got to continue, no? That is where you want to continue and keep grinding on that plan, build more statistics. But the thing is, if you build statistics, it will take a while. So if you put a lot of weeks, if not months, in building statistics, and you then start trading, if you do not stick to the plan and your statistics, you are literally throwing away weeks, if not months, of effort. Interesting perspective, no? So you got to stick to your plan, because you know that based on the data, if you just follow it, you're going to be profitable. And yes, you might get a losing streak of 5, but you know that over 100 trades, you're profitable, because you know your win rate, you know your risk-reward ratio, your highest profitable risk-reward ratio, so you know your target. You just gotta execute, right? But that's where psychology comes in, which kicks ass. In the description, you mentioned yeah, maybe, but yes, correct, Perko. And yeah, but my levels are always very well respected, so there's no reason to use anything different, really. Yeah. Have you ever detected a running flat because other options were validated, or are the running flats only detected in retrospect when the bug? They are not. They only get higher probabilities later, when on the lower time frames it becomes very difficult to count 3-wave structures, right? So if you get a wave C to the upside, right? You want to get an impulse down. Of course, A, B, C means an impulse in A. But before taking out the low and hitting invalidation, probabilities for a running flat can increase based on a move towards the downside. But at the moment, there's no reason yet to think that we go to this low here, right? So a running flat is definitely something that one can detect relatively early, but it will only get higher probabilities as price then moves towards the target for your running flat, right? Because if you only have this is never highest probabilities for like running flat, right? Never highest probabilities. Only based on the structure down will probabilities increase. But at the moment, based on the current info we have here, probabilities have not yet increased. Could you please, what's up, Crypto High? Could you please, I guess, share your worst phase from last bull run? Yes. Which is quite easy, because that was actually the run that I got into crypto. So very easy. My worst phase was in this range. I was new, didn't know anything about what I was doing. I had a big ass Ethereum trade long, where I made a very big profit. Now, I had no clue what I was doing. It's the most stupid trade I've ever done in my life. Very emotional. All my money was in. I never did that again. But somehow I earned big, and then I lost it all of the profits and a little bit more in this section, and that was the worst phase. So yeah. So this range was my. And then after losing all of the profits and a little bit more here, that's when I started to learn. That's when I started to study. That is when I implemented the 6 steps myself, which now I share. But the 6 steps, guys, it's literally the step-by-step plan I went through. And that's what Diamond is, right? Diamond is all about creating your own plan and strategy, where I share the files I used, I share like all the stuff, and also the strategies I use myself. It's just, it's literally my story. And I know it works because I've been there at every step, right? I got the data, I built the statistics, I combined the statistics, I built more statistics, I tweaked and adjust and tweaked and adjust, and more and more and more and more, start trading, work on trading psychology and more. I've been there. Can you show us some of the ATAS templates? Yeah, of course. 1 second though, because sorry for the quality of the webcam. It's not too light, maybe. A little bit more light always helps. So I'm just opening ATAS now. Yeah. Just opening ATAS. There you go. Update later. 1 second, almost finished. Badoop. Almost. 3, 2, 1. Okay, there we are. So here you go. Now, I already mentioned that in ATAS, right, or in Discord, I share the templates, right? There's 2 templates here. Now, quite simply, go to chart here. Here's my 2 templates. So I go to daily naked point of controls, and then I open, click on OK, and then move it to the daily time frame. It's always, somehow it always opens on the 5 minute. I don't know, but so we go to the daily. There you go. Each number here is a daily naked point of control. 70.9, 69.5, 66.3, 63.1. Now we just hit this one, right? So it's still there, but tomorrow this line will be gone. 60.1. Current day point of control is the white line here, 60.6. Daily naked point of control, 57.3, 55.7, right? Etc. And then for the weekly and the monthly, I go to my other template. Now, mind you, this here is the current monthly point of control, right? This here is the current weekly point of control. But we have a monthly naked point of control here at 66.4. A monthly and weekly naked point of control at 70.9. Weekly naked point of control at 57.8. Monthly naked point of control at 51.8. So you can see it's just the template shows me. Next major support. Yeah, I mean, we are at support now, and the next one is 57.8 really. Amit, welcome. Mr. Amit, good to have you here. Welcome. 63.1, the other daily naked point of control. How do you categorize the subdivision of a wave if there's multiple declines of same percentages? Elliott wave theory, you know, it's all up to the scale of counting. You know? And also, it's not related. You gotta keep an eye on the extensions, Fibonacci, right? It's not necessarily the percentage, even though you can use the percentage to, you know, get an extension, but preferably use fibs. But if you count a move down like this, it's just skill, it's practice. Serdar, welcome. Manuel, how can Elliott waves predict events like recession? Oh, it's just waves. So a recession, you're going to be looking for a wave 5 and the market to turn. So it's not predicting a recession. It is predicting the end or the upcoming end of a bull market and looking for a bigger retracement. Now, if then it so happens to then also be the start of a recession, so be it. But I always use this example here, right? Impulse up, a 5-wave impulsive structure, looking for a wave 2 to the downside, right? A corrective move down. The most common target for a wave 2, taken from the low to the high of your wave 1, is the 0.5 to the 0.786, right? This area. We hit the 0.5 here, right? But we had a single structure to the downside here, not really a 3-wave structure. Probability is high to still look for lower. We get the move down. Now, I didn't know this was going to be a COVID like pandemic dump, but it doesn't matter, right? This is just a very simple wave 2 retracement here, right? A nice 3-wave move down. Now that there's some news involved and some like pandemic and whatever, I don't really care, right? The only thing I care about is Fibonacci respected. Yes, 886 is not touched. Candle close in the golden pocket, starting wave 3 to the upside. So it is not really that you know what's coming. So we didn't know this was going to be COVID, right? We didn't know President Trump was going to get shot, right? We didn't know that an intern on some random crypto news website was going to press a button and it made the chart move up. But what we did know is that in all of these examples, the probabilities were higher for what happened, right? So here, probabilities were higher to move up, right? Here, the probabilities were higher to still move down for a second leg. Now, it's then related, it happened to be COVID down here, right? Okay, cool. It happened to be an intern clicking a button, right? Even with the President Trump movement on the chart, the probabilities were higher to move up, right? I believe it was here. The probabilities were higher to move up. And then we got Mr. Trump being shot. Of course, that's not great, but it eventually, people say, it took a shot for price to move out. Well, we were already looking for price to move up. So it's not really like, I didn't know he was going to get shot. I didn't know about the pandemic. I didn't know about fill in the dots. But what we did know is the probabilities from an Elliott wave point of view. So we can't predict a recession, but we can predict, based on Elliott wave probabilities, a turn in a market. And that turn can be traded. And if that then eventually leads to a recession, well, that's fundamentals. But I don't trade fundamentals, I trade the chart. There's always a news reason that people look for price to pump or dump. In my case, it's just a wave 2. It's just a wave 3. It's just the end of a wave 5, right? And I think that is mainly what you want from technical analysis. And you can use fundamental analysis. It can be very good to use fundamental analysis if you like it, because any form of analysis can work. Fundamental, technical, a combination of both, right? It can all work as long as you make it work, right? You need a strategy. So, yeah. I'm not a financial advisor, so I will not be able to recommend something here. Yeah. What was this about? Oh, yeah. Not sure. It might actually be a... I think this is a scam. We can't move up until we touch at least 44k in a weekly time frame. The flat is interesting. Take all-time high, move down, wave C, hit 44, move up. It's still a target or still a scenario. Yeah. I mean, it depends on what kind of analyst you are, but I'm a technical analyst. Yeah, I get all my information from the chart. Yo, Salad guys, welcome, man. Good to have you here. Welcome. Reaction in 2 minutes incoming. Are you pressing buttons? So, of course, you just came in. So, 2 minutes. We're looking at the 1 minute chart. Yo, bro, go pro. Yo, stop commenting bullshit in the chat and go start counting on the daily, weekly, and monthly time frame yourself if you don't believe, bro, in counting the 15, 1 hour, and 4 hour chart. What the fuck are you doing here, okay, bro? I don't need your feedback about this shit, right? So that's just a stupid comment. So you get a stupid response. So that's very simple. Elliott waves can be used on any time frame. Look, if you don't make it work on a 15-minute, 1 hour, or 4 hour time frame, it's your problem, not mine. but I make it work and I analyze it, right? So not my problem here. Yeah, I can get so annoyed by this type of shit, right? Like, you do you, I do me, and if you don't like what I do, then get out. It's simple as that. Do you think a 1-2-1-2 scenario is still a possibility from the November 22 lows? Yes. On the weekly time frame, yes. Make sure to check out the previous video that I made. What should be my stop loss for the swing? Depends on your plan and strategy. I'm not a financial advisor, so you would need a plan. August low, high in A and B, and we foresee another low, and we 1st of August low, that was here, high in an A, now B, and we're in for C. The problem with your B for the flat is that your B is already very low. You moved past the 1.618, or you're not touched the 1.618, right? And the 1.618 here is a very rare target for a wave B in a flat. So it reduces the probabilities for a C up. Thank you, Mark. Yeah. Joshua, what's up? Antoine, mate, I thought it's a wave 4 WXY on the daily and it's done. It's getting too big for another X. What do you think are the... okay, yeah, so I count it personally as an ABC, just keeping it simple. But yeah, you know, you're low at 53. In that case, WXY or ABC would result to the same flat, so it doesn't really matter. It's getting too big for compared to the wave 2. In a double 1-2, that is correct, right? So if you're looking for a double 1-2, you want the correction to be finished, yes. So on a weekly, this one. So for a double 1-2, preferably your low is in. You're finished and you continue up. In a 1-2, you know, up you go. In the bearish, still bullish, but more bearish scenario, you continue this range, but in a bigger 4. So your A, B, C, or WXY here is only your A. You look for a B, C, flatten 4, very interesting, and then move up for 5. And then you make one more high, and then you start the bear market. Could this be a 1-2-1-2 to the downside in a bigger C wave? Lower, well, wait, what time frame are you talking about now? That's the question, because if you're talking about a 4 hour, if you're talking about a C, A, B, C, for example, a minimum target for a wave B in a flat. So if you're looking for a flat, right, your minimum target needs to be the 886. Oh, sorry, not the 886, the 0.9, which we haven't touched here, right? So we can't count this as a flat structure. And we also haven't touched here. So we cannot yet count this, right? If we do look for a double 1-2 here, 1-2-1-2 and a bigger 3, we can't count it as a wave C in a flat because our wave B did not go high enough. Right? Didn't go high enough. So a flat is not a legit scenario. You still need to move higher to talk about flats. Yeah. Boris, yeah, you can use it for Elliott waves as well. But what you then want to do, right, with regards to Elliott waves, is wait for a structure to be finished and the probabilities to be high for it to be finished, like this impulse up, and then collect data, right? So here we have then a finished impulse up, and now you can see, okay, a statement, right? You've probably seen the video, but a statement in the sheet can be wave X or wave 3 went to the 1.618. Now you pull your 1.618, right? Trend-based FIB, and then yes, no, total, right? So yes. Wave 3 went to the 2. Yes. Wave 3 went to the 2.618. Okay, and then 3.618, and then that's already like 5 or 6 statements about only a wave 3. So you can have a wave 3 box and only build stats on wave 3. Wave 1. Wave 1 is an impulse. Yes, no. Wave 1 is a diagonal. Yes, no. Right? But you need to have a finished structure first with high probabilities, and then start statistics on your on the Elliott wave structures. What I do recommend, Boris, is if you do like statistics, go to community content. No. Others no. Holy shit. Elliott wave. Jeez. Go to the Elliott Waves channel in educational content and download this. Right? And first, before you track statistics yourself, read this. Right? Both of these first. Probably will save you a lot of work. If we are completing wave 2 to the downside, should we hold 56.7, or is it possible for wave 2 to break this? 56.7? Uh, 56.7 is just below the 786. So what do I have here? 56. Yeah, this would be very low. So 56.7. It starts to be very low for wave 2. If you do move below this blue box here, where the low is 57.3, that would start to be a problem. You know, you still have some support just above the 886, right? As long as you don't hit the 886, you're still in for a wave 2. But preferably, you don't really start to dip below the 786. You know, yeah. If I draw a base channel from the last top, price just touch the bottom line of the channel. Is fall over from the last top? A base. You're looking for an impulse to the downside. Now, the base channel, of course, is then taken, right? Wait a second here. From your 1 to your 2. To the end of your 1, which is pick your poison. Should do this. But as you can see, price never really moved out of the base channel, right? It's still in the base channel. Oh wait. So what you actually want to see, of course, in a proper impulse is you want to see a wave 1, 2, and then wave 3 moving out of the base channel. Wave 4 comes back, and then wave 5 to the downside, and then you get your retracement. Here, we never actually moved out of the base channel, right? The base channel is taken from the start of an impulse to the end of your 2 to the end of your 1, right? So, as a great example, you have this move up, right? Base channel taken from the low to 2 to 1, bull base, right? We move out of the base channel, wave 3, we come back, retest it, absolutely perfect, and you move up again. That's what you want to see. But in this case, all of the price section is still contained inside the channel, which actually increases the probabilities that this is corrective and not impulsive, interestingly. Do you factor in other crypto charts to time entries in Bitcoin? Personally, I don't. No, I only trade Bitcoin and I do my analysis on Bitcoin. I do altcoin streams as well on the channel, but that's just because people like alts. But I personally don't trade alts. So we do them every Sunday. Do we do altcoin stream? But yeah, I only use Bitcoin. For us, what's your highest probability outcomes if you can repeat? Weekly time frame, bullish, still looking for all-time highs. Daily time frame, also still bullish, price taking out at least this high at 70k, and also on the daily time frame, probability is higher to make an all-time high. On the 4-hour time frame, probabilities are higher. We are looking for a wave 2 corrective structure in a wave 1, 2, or an A, B, and then a C or 3. Price action is the same, so it doesn't really matter. But these have a higher probability compared to this being an expand or a running flat A, B, C, running flat, lower high, and C, and a continuation down. So probability is higher to take out this high. And looking for a corrective structure. And actually on the 15-minute, the probabilities, we started streaming here, probabilities were high to take the low because of the 886. This has now happened, and we were looking for price to hit the daily naked point of control, which is where we are right now. Most common is that the weekend is a ranging structure and you don't get very strong impulsive structures. So of course, generally you would expect price to move sideways. Yeah. With regards to support, most of the Elliott wave scenarios locally here do lead to the potential of 57.8, which is a very interesting support, weekly naked point of control. So it's a strong level of interest at least. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, the overall view is weekly bullish, daily bullish, 4 hours, looking for 2 or B, so corrective structures. And then locally, that already played out, but it's weekend, so most of the time we go sideways. Bitcoin user. Fuck yeah. Yo, Elliott trades pattern up. How you doing, man? Yeah, you watched the morning update. That was the weekly. Yeah, weekly time frame and the daily. So, good to have you here. Welcome. Vorth, always a pleasure. And Andrew, good to have you here, man. Good to have you here. Welcome again. I mean, long time no see. I mean, it's just a few days, no? Just a few days. But good to have you here. Welcome, man. welcome. Hey, lads and lasses, I do think it's time for me to wrap things up, right? We've been live here for a while now, like about 2 hours. 2 hours and 10 minutes. So, guys, don't you have to watch like the Olympics or spend time with the wife or the girlfriend or what are 200 of you doing here, yo? What's up, guys? It's time to wrap things up. On the daily weekly, do you have the wave 1 at 25k? I have 32k and flat 25. Yes, I have the second one. 6 a.m. in Sydney. Yo, good morning. Yeah, it's bedtime here, man. It's 10 p.m. More fun to watch. Yeah. Guys. Oh, by the way, yo, Adam, if you're still here, I still got it, eh? I still got it. Up. The Kunstbaguette. This guy designed the Kunstbaguette because I live in France now. Oh, what a guy. Yeah, the Kunstbaguette. Okay. Pleasure, Mari. And Mark, maybe a Band-Aid. Thanks for hanging out as well. Always awesome and more fun. Watch coffee by counts. Yeah, have some coffee. Check some counts. Thanks everyone for being here. All 200 of you, and over the whole stream, 1,840 people were here. So if you haven't seen the analysis, make sure to go to like minute 14. I'll put the timestamps in the live stream VOD right after I close the stream. So I'll make sure, just wait 5 to 10 minutes and it should be in. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. Thanks for chilling here on a Saturday night or Sunday morning for some of you. And Casado Franco, probabilities in a nutshell: weekly bullish, new all-time high; daily bullish, new all-time high; 4 hour time frame looking for a wave 2/B retracement to the downside here locally. So not taking 53k, but looking for a corrective structure down and still a move up above 70 to come. And on the 50-minute time frame, we were looking for price to take the low, but we took the low. So that has played out. Most commonly in the weekend, we go sideways. So therefore, the probabilities locally are higher to just move sideways in the range that we had today. So there you go. Thanks, everyone. Tell Ashley we said bon nuit. I will. Yo, cheers, everyone. Thanks for being here. And I'm going to catch you at the next one.